Welcome back to Imagination Station Network. We are here. Like I thought I'd dress up like the end of the festival time.
Looks good, mate.
Know that I
Looks
go.
good.
Cheers. Know that I go to festivals, but it was cold outside. Right. So today we are joined by another fantastic creative, and his name is Dan. So I'm going to hang about. Just going to ask you, how you doing today? You all right, Dan?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good.
Good. The
Yeah.
reason I ask that is because like people just automatically assume you're all right.
Yeah.
Like if somebody doesn't ask you, you're just going to say yeah. But if
Say
somebody
yeah
asks you,
anyway.
it comes from a place of care.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and I'm good. Are you alright?
Yeah, man, I'm good. Thanks. It's nice to see people coming into my wee space, man.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
rhyming off all the stories
nice,
there.
yeah.
So aye. But thanks for giving your time. It is important, you know. People give me their time. I really appreciate it and appreciate you. So thanks very much. But
You're welcome, mate.
so I'm going to lead in with this because I'm excited. Like so, you know, I'm a mad. How would I say it? I wouldn't even class myself as a social influencer, but I was scrolling on social media one day and I was like, look at that, man. And I was up here and I came down the stairs and I was like, look at that. Showing the team, I was like, look at this. So I'll let Dan tell you what he does and then I'll come back in with that.
So yeah, my name's Dan Jones. I'm a professional chef. I live in Berwick. And I'm the head chef at the Collinwood Arms in Cornhill. I've been in Berwick now probably nearly 3 years. So
Nice.
what started off as what was meant to be a 6-week stint at the Collinwood turned into my full-time job.
Oh, wow.
And I actually met my Mrs. Kirsty that you know
Yeah.
at the Collinwood, and now I've got a baby with her.
Oh, congratulations, man.
She's just turned 4 months old. So
Oh, so it's a new baby.
yeah,
Congratulations.
so it's
What's her name?
Myla.
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 How we doing? James
Sh-
here.
Shout out to Myla.
Shout out to Myla. I know you don't watch this for years, but hey, there you go.
So my story is I was born in Stoke-on-Trent. My dad's from Stoke, my mum's from Liverpool. They both met in the Lake District. I was born in Stoke. I've got 3 younger brothers. One of them's a half brother. Me, Matt, and Sam, we're all from the same mum and dad. And then Sebastian, he's from a different mother. So when I was born, my second brother Matt, he was born in Stoke as well. And basically, my parents didn't want to bring us up in Stoke, so they decided to move to the Lake District.
Nice.
And that's where we grew up in Ambleside and Windermere. I went to school around there, learnt my craft around there.
Nice, man.
And this is a funny story. So how I actually got into hospitality was, so my mother used to work at a place called Lucy's on a Plate, and she worked in the shop. I used to go and help her after school, bringing the fruit and veg in after work. Then I ended up getting a job in the brew room making coffees, but I was shy. So
Hey, honest, they'll get you everywhere.
so they trucked me up in the kitchen washing dishes.
Right.
And I was in secondary school at the time, and my last 2 years of secondary school before sixth form, year 10 and 11, they gave us a chance to go to college one day a week, and me and my mates, we used to smoke a bit of weed. So we were like, you know, go to college, smoke a few joints, we'll make some food, and how bad can it be? And so there was 5 of us that went one day a week, and then three of my pals got kicked off the course, so it's just me and one of my other pals. And then I stuck at it, and I stayed there for 5 years, got all the qualifications that I possibly could get there. And then when I finished college, I started working part-time as a chef from when I was 15 years old, so you know, I've always been in the kitchens. And then in Ambleside, where I was living at the time, I started working at a little place called, I worked at Lucy's on a Plate, and she had a couple of franchise businesses that I did dribs and drabs at. Then I got a job. Then I started taking it seriously, and realised it's something that I wanted to do and what I was passionate about. So I went to a place called Matthew's Bistro, and I worked with Matt for maybe 1.5 years, 2 years, and he taught me a lot of stuff, you know, basic butchery, you know, things that I'd learned at college but never really put into practice in the real world, because it's completely different, the things you learn. And then, you know, and then I left there, and I decided I wanted to level up. So when I wanted to get onto like the fine dining scene, so I went to work at a one rosette restaurant called the Log House, under a guy called Heath Kalman, I worked with him for a year, and then he moved back to New Zealand. Well, him and his wife separated, and then he moved back to New Zealand, and then I ended up landing the head chef job there at 18 years old. You know, so I didn't have I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing. I could cook the stuff that I'd been taught, but you know, I had no idea how to run a kitchen. Anyway, the place ended up shutting down about a year after that, and then I went to work in Windermere, Bowness. A place called Winster, just outside of there, a place called the Brown Horse, under another great chef called Paul Webster. And then I worked with him for a year. I worked in Bowness. I worked in quite a few places in between, you know, I'm just sort of shortening it up. And then my partner at the time, we decided we were going to go work in France, work in ski chalets.
Ooh la la.
Yeah, it was all right. It wasn't that glamorous.
Ooh la.
So we went and worked out there for 8 months for a company called the Alpine Club, which were a 5-star luxury chalet company. They had 3 chalets, and they voted best chalets, and one of them was voted best chalet in the world. Helen Reimers, I think she was called. Her chalet company actually won awards for being the best chalet company in the world twice. So
wow, man.
So you know, I cooked for in that chalet alone. I cooked for Marcus Waring, like quite a well-known famous chef in the UK. The guitarist from the Smiths, Johnny Marr.
Nice.
So cooked for him and his family.
Hey, man.
Loads of newspaper reporters and things like that. Anyway, so the season finished up, and we wanted to work a summer job. Well, we wanted to find some work abroad in the summer, but we couldn't find any as a working couple. So we went to work at a Michelin star hotel in the lakes called Shower Bay, which is famous for the creation of sticky toffee pudding. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, I didn't know that, man.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
That's one of my favourites.
Yeah. So went there as a sous chef. I worked there for about 7 or 8 months, and then it started becoming the autumn again, and we started getting itchy feet, wanting to go back and ski again. So we managed to find a job working for a Harley Street doctor called Paul Jenkins, and he had a chalet out in Switzerland in Latsuma, which is a valley over from Verbier. So we went and worked for him for, I think it was around 7 or 8 months the first winter, and then that season was amazing. That was big. Like, we had a lot of Russian bankers and things like that we cooked for. It was very like
big cheese.
Yeah, it was really good. But the experience was absolutely phenomenal. And then we finished Switzerland and came back to the UK. I went to work at a place called the Lythe Valley Hotel, which is just outside near Winster again, owned by the same people who had the Brown Horse. And then we were actually on holiday in Egypt, and Paul, who we worked for in Switzerland, sent us an email saying, "Are you free for a chat?" He just bought a vineyard in the south of France, so he wanted us to go and work in the vineyard. But because it was the winter, he was like, "Oh, come and do another winter season in Chalet Oriana," it was called. And then after that, you can go work in the vineyard. So we went back, did another winter season, and then after that. Anyway, long story. We didn't end up going to work in the vineyard after that. Some dramas happened.
It's all going down. It's all going down. It's getting us. Let me get comfy.
It was more because of Brexit.
Yeah.
We'd so when we were out there the previous season, we were on British minimum wage, but the tips made it. We were getting £1,000 a week tips. You know,
yeah.
So
they're not stingy there.
No,
That's it. That's
pocket change for them.
Yeah.
So we had a bit of a rough and tumble with them because of Brexit. We were on Swiss minimum wage, and working in hospitality, you're classed as a skilled worker. So your wage is like quadruple the British minimum wage. Anyway, you can imagine how that went. Anyway, we ended up getting out all our money, but we left a bit of a sour taste in our mouth. So we finished the season up, then we left, and then when we came back, it was 2018. We went into the first lockdown in 2019.
Yeah,
maybe end of
just at the end date, wasn't it? December, January.
So went into lockdown. Absolutely loved everything. We came out the first lockdown, and I took a head chef job in Penrith in the Lake District. It was a brand new holiday park, so it'd just been built. Like, nobody had lived on it yet. And me and my partner at the time, we'd built the restaurant up, got a good reputation for the food, and I stayed there for 2 years. And then I opened another place in North Yorkshire, which was owned by Leisure Resorts. they wanted the restaurant opening there, so I went and did that for them. And then after that, I was in Penrith. I lived in Penrith on and off for about 8 years, and then I actually met a guy called Gavin who wanted me to go work with him near Carlisle, but they couldn't offer me the right money that I was looking for. I knew my worth.
Yeah.
Anyway, we stayed in touch. I went and worked away again, bits and bats here and there. But I worked for an agency for 3 years, so I was doing 2 week stints here, 2 week stints here, 6 weeks here, 3 months here. So I did that, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to set up on my own, because when the autumn and the winter comes, as a chef, 100% of chefs will relate to this. The work dries up unless you're working through an agency. But I thought, I know enough people, I'm going to set up on my own. So I just left the agency and just started putting some feelers out there, and I managed to find enough work to see me through the winter. And we come to January 2022. Yeah, January 2022. I got a phone call from Gavin, say, would you mind coming to give me a hand at the Collinwood for 6 weeks? Oh yeah, not a problem. Just finishing this job. I'll come up in 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, came up, helped him out, and then ended up staying. And and I've been there ever since. In the time I've been there, we've gone from. It's always had a good reputation in the area. It's a busy little place, but I don't know if you knew this year, we just got our second rosette this year.
Ooh, nice. I did not, man.
Yeah, so we've got our second rosette this year, which it was just us and another hotel in the area, the Cringleton Peoples.
Oh, aye, I've been there.
Yeah, so us
congratulations, man.
We're the only hotels that had 2 rosettes in there. I think the Roxburgh's I think they just got 3 rosettes, so they're...
I know that I'd seen that they'd got another award as well for something.
Yeah, they've just been awarded 5 stars for the...
That's it, aye.
But it's,
I didn't even know that place existed till I drove past it one day and I was like, I'm going in there.
Yeah,
in fact, my mate took me. I was like, wow.
So yeah, that's my life in a short, really.
Hey man, there's a journey there that you've and I'm blessed that you get to condense it for us, because there's a reason why I chose you, man. And as soon as you started talking, as I said to you, I've got ADHD and I'm autistic. I find it hard when I get excited, man. I'm pulling wee bits at my beard and I'm like, I want to say something. But honesty will always set you free, and like the world has granted you some stuff, and I can read between the lines. Obviously, it's not all good.
Yeah.
But the fact is, you just said something to them, and I think I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and say I think you're the first openly creative that said I know my worth.
Yeah.
Because creatives generally don't know our worth, and we're just taking what we can get because it's there, aye. So good on you, man. That's liberating.
And I think working in hospitality for years has been, like you said, they've been the unsung heroes of
100%
of the world, really, because everybody has to eat. Everybody goes out to eat, but wages were terrible for years and years. Nobody got paid right until chefs started, and front of house people started knowing what they're worth and started demanding extra money. Because,
and rightly so, man.
Yeah, and you work 12 hours a day minimum in a kitchen. Same front of house, it's long hours. It's every establishment's different. Some places are better than others to work.
And that's why you all go abroad, because nobody tips here. I tip because I've been a waiter, man. I know what it's like.
Yeah.
But nobody tips.
No, not at all.
It's like.
But I think as well, since COVID, I think because a lot of self-employed chefs never got help, and a lot of chefs got laid off because businesses were closing. Because of lockdown. Everybody changed jobs. They moved into different sectors, and it's only the die-hard hospitality workers that stuck through it. And that's why now, a lot of places are just.
But it's paying off though. I'm going to get up. I wasn't being rude getting my phone. I'm going to get up here. I want to go and show you exactly what I've seen. By the way, this guy's at Collinwood Arms. How many times have I got to say? So, look at this. Look at that. And you all know I love food. Is my internet working? It's taking ages to load up. But these are the first couple on there. Look at that, man. I even cheekily was like, can you bring me something? I like eating. Look at that. Right. Aye. Mate, even the scallops.
Yeah. you.
Oh, I'm a big foodie, man. Anybody who knows me and my entire existence on this planet knows I love eating, even when I was a mystery diner.
Yeah.
I'll have to say, even if your toilets weren't that great and your food was brilliant, I would give you top marks still, but I would send you a private message and say, sorry, your toilets.
Give your toilets a wish.
Aye.
But,
and it's not. It's the reason why you're my first chef.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that, man. I can see the quality of food just by a picture.
Yeah.
Like I'm not just a microwave king, man. You know, when I go out, I like to eat, I like to taste, I like to know exactly, and I could do all that just for a picture.
Yeah.
And that's a skill level that not a lot of people, one,
Yeah.
appreciate, two, understand, and three, get to see it.
Yeah.
You know, because food's expensive these days, man. It's like
it's crazy, and you know, being a head chef and managing a kitchen is, especially with the price of food now, you know, you've got to try and keep your menus.
Yeah.
Value for money as well, but you know, we're quite lucky where we are with the Collinwood because the clientele that we have, they're predominantly shooters and fishermen, so they're not short of a few bob.
I've seen them with their wee fishing rods on their cars.
So you drive past the Collinwood and it's all Land Rovers and bloody Bentleys and things. But you know, it's you've got to try and keep the pricing fair to a certain extent while trying to push. I mean, I'm a kind of chef that I'm always pushing myself, and I'm self-taught. You know, like predominantly self-taught. I've learned the basics from people. I've learned bits and bobs from everywhere, and you pull them all together, and you put your I cook food that I want to eat. I don't cook food that other people want to eat. You know, and turns out that people do want to eat my food. Yeah, so that's kind of how it works.
But it takes me back to the fact is you said you know your worth. See, when you know your worth,
Yeah.
it's weird because we literally had a conversation before you rung that doorbell, and that was it. I'm like, how does it mean? Like, no, we need to know our worth, and we need to know what it is we do, man. And you've just put the icing on the cake, literally for us by saying that.
Because you know, again, there's working in the industry. You know, we use a lot of agency chefs and things to cover. Because we've struggled, you know, and this is countrywide, probably even worldwide. But some of the quality of chefs you get for the price that you're paying for them, you laugh them out the door because you're like, you can't be getting paid double the amount of money that the full-time chefs are getting.
I've heard that.
When you can't even peel a potato, mate. So you know, you do have to know your worth to a certain extent, you know. But like you said, be humble with it.
You know? Humble is the key.
And you know, I'm quite a I'm not a very outspoken person. The way I manage a kitchen is very, you know, the guys know what's right, the guys know what's wrong. You know, if they step out of line, then it's a different thing. But you know, at the end of the day,
it's a job, man. But it's passion.
And
it's like I always say. Sorry to cut you off again, but I always say to people like, there's a lot of when passion meets privilege, it doesn't work, man. Yeah. When passion meets somebody skilled who has worked their way up and they have went through what they've went through in order to get there. That's a different story, man.
Yeah, it's hard because you've got to try and keep your kitchen costs down while providing a well-priced and balanced menu to cater for everybody. People with dietary requirements.
Yeah.
You know, there's more vegans now, gluten-free than there ever has been. While trying to keep your team happy, while trying to, you know, stock rotate, manage, you know, it's not an easy. That's
a sign, and I'm not here to blow smoke up your backside, man. You know, that's a sign of a leader. You know, like, you know, if it's too outpriced, then you're not only going to get people walk up and get out. They're going to give you're going to give the other team pelters. You know, they're going to be like, here, apart from me, I'll just eat it anyway because I love eating. But like, people will get up and they will voice their opinions, man. And sometimes people aren't nice. But when you know where you're going there and what you're getting, and like even the most simplest of foods, if it's presented well
and it's done properly,
that's the skill, man.
I mean, I'm a sucker for overcomplicating things as well.
Oh, you know? Hey, I'm an artist with overcomplicating minds.
You know, sometimes I've got to rein it in because I'm happy to do it, but the lads that work for me, sometimes it's stupid. It's too much. It's like, you know, you've got to keep a bit of self-control as well, because if you let yourself go too far, then it can get a bit silly. Because
if you overwork it, you overwork
it.
It's like a kid gave me this, right? And I was at a school in Berwick, and they said, you know, when you mix paints, and it goes to the very end, it's like brownie pasty. this wee kid blew my mind. He's like, so does that mean the paint's died? And in both sense, by the way, colour and that is the paint's end. It's like you can go no further with that, and you can't work with it unless you're wanting mucky brown colour. That kid was just a wee tiny kid, and I'll remember that for the rest of my days. But it's the same with food. You overwork it, you overcomplicate it.
100%.
The taste changes,
and you've got to try and stay relevant in this day and age as well. You've got to move with trends.
You're right.
You've got to look at feedback from people, reviews. You've got to look at competition in the area.
You've
got to see, you know yourself that in the Scottish borders, there's not, and I'm not going to diss any places here, but there's not a lot of places where you can go and you can have a nice slap up meal, without travelling. I don't know about Kelso because I don't really know the area, but I'm sure there's not many places in Kelso where you can go and have a really nice meal on a night.
At night time. You're right. Yep.
And I think it's the same for the whole Scottish borders. It's very few and far between, and I think that's down to it's not.
You're right. You're bang on because we talk about this. Like, I'll tell you something off camera that I've got happening.
Yeah.
But like Newcastle, we'll go to Newcastle or we'll go to Edinburgh for something to eat
because you can
because we know, and or I'll plug the best restaurant I've ever been in Glasgow. By the way, it's called La Laterna. It's Italian.
Right.
If you've man, it is just. It's the best place I've mystery dined in the entire recommendation. They are unreal. But you're right, and that's a worry because the fact is that people. I always say we want our backsides white for. We don't want to travel everywhere, but if we get a good place where you have that's worth travelling for, like Collinwood Arms is a wee bit out, but it's a crossroad. Of course, it's there. It's got history. It's got the old post office, wasn't it?
Building.
The horses would have been outside. All that stuff, and for me, we talk about it every time we go past, and I'm like, look at that
because it looks nice when you drive past, doesn't it?
And we've never been in the garden at the back, but. That's the whole point, man. Is like you can't have a nice building outside without a nice chef inside and nice staff. It has to meet the requirement.
To get a lot, and I'm not saying every place is like this, but a lot of the time, the pub or the hotel or the restaurant will look beautiful on the inside. The staff will be great, but then you put a not so good chef inside. And that's not the chef's fault. It's
you work with what you've got, know what you've not got.
Of course you do, and the Collinwood now is. I don't know if it's under new.
I've not been in for
under new ownership now.
2 or 3 years.
So the owners, David and Suzanne, they're lovely. They took over in, I want to say December 2024.
Oh,
so they've been in there 10 months now, 9-10 months, and they're slowly like updating it all and refreshing it all because it's an old coaching house.
Of course it is, man.
It's been there for ages.
And that's a hard task as well. What's her name? David and Susanna. That's no easy task, guys, because you don't want to take away too much, and you don't want to take. Because I've seen restaurants where I've went to visit, and they've ripped everything out and restarted and changed the menu. And as somebody who's there's another thing. Somebody who's neurodivergent, I'm like, oh my god,
it's too much to take.
There is. You can have too much on a menu, or you can have too little, or you could just take it all away. And I'm like that. We'll go for a Chinese instead. Because that's what I'm like.
I mean, we sort of, it's tricky because you've got to try and. We try and keep quite a nice menu. So we run a bar menu as well. So if people want to sit in the bar and have a burger, fish and chips, or sausage and mash or whatever, we do that. We do it a bit nicer than a regular. But then in the restaurant we'll have the a la carte menu, which is to 777, and then that reduces in the winter. But and that's where we put like the nicer
presented stuff.
Because it just means you have people coming for special occasions. Someone will come for a wedding anniversary, and they don't want to be sat in a bar with people eating fish and chips next to them, so they can go and sit in the
restaurant. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, man. It's I like that because you're feeding for the different clientele.
Try and
cater for everybody. Again, to a certain extent.
We try and cater for as many people as we can, but when you cater for too many people, you kind of lose your identity.
And the kitchen loses its throw as well.
You become a fucking Wetherspoons, don't you? And that's not what I'm about as a chef, and it's not what a lot of people are about. But I think you have to choose your audience and cater to your audience. And our audience is people want to come. If people want to come for a nice,
you want wine and dine, man.
People want to come for a sandwich at lunch, a bowl of soup, come. If you want to come for a cheap meal, we have cheaper options on the bar menu, so it's, we're doing well. It's a step in the right direction, and it's hard work, and we've the team's changed a lot. My kitchen team's changed more times than I changed my socks, mate, to be honest.
But again, that's it's a testament to you to be able to work with the changes, because that brings me on to my next thing is, you know, like having that amount of change and having that, it disrupts, like any team. I say that in our team. I'm like, that disrupts the team to a certain extent, where there has to be, because we're always like hierarchy, there has to be accountable,
of course,
and you know your worth, like you've said. So the accountability is like, you know, you're doing what you need to do at a level that you're doing it, and everybody coming in needs to understand that that's why it is, and that's the head chef's job.
And that's why it's hard for a lot of people, because, you know, we sort of we lose a lot of chefs, not because of the working environment, but because they're on agency. They're only with us for 6 weeks, or they're with us for 2 weeks, and, you know, we've had quite a few idiots through the doors as well, you know. So
happens, man.
But being a new chef coming into because there's only 3 of us, 3 chefs there.
Wow.
So there's only ever 2 chefs at a time, and, you know, and we're busy enough. You know, we do a lot of functions and afternoon teas and things like that. But for a new chef coming in, who maybe doesn't have the experience to work at the level we're working at, it's a big thing. It's like trying to jump onto a moving train, you know. And you either jump on and you know you get stuck in, or you fall off, and that is.
I'm going to ask something as well. Again, I just jumped straight in. It's like, what's the work-life balance like for a chef? I'm all about like the youngsters or somebody out there who's thinking about being a chef. Again,
I'm my own worst enemy because I'm a workaholic. You know? So
I get
you
that.
know, I could have a better balance if I didn't care so much, but because I care a lot, you know, I get my 2 days off a week. Sometimes I might have to work 6 days or work 7 days to get my days off. But,
is that your day off?
Yeah, it's my day off.
Thanks very much for doing some of your day off, man.
But I mean, there is a work-life balance there.
Yeah.
But, you know, hospitality is not renowned for having a good work-life balance, and it's something we're pushing towards as a team at the Collinwood. You know, and I've always said, you know, you can, rather than having 3 chefs working 65, 70 hours a week, you can have 4 chefs on 40 hours, and then you work 4 days off, 3 days off.
Yeah.
That's what we're pushing towards, I hope. You know, but again, it's tricky because you can't really be going into the quieter months with a big team like that, because you don't have to start.
Can't afford it either, man. You've got to be realistic here.
Exactly, and you know, I think again, it's a push through the busy time with 3 chefs, but then we don't have the space for 4 chefs, so it is what it is. You know,
it's a get back to like working what you've got, not what you've not got.
You know, fortunately, you know, I've been quite lucky because I say 95% of the chefs have been grafters, and you have to graft there. You know, there's no way about it. If you, you know, we all do it for money at the end of the day, but you've got to have a certain level of passion to enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, it could be the hardest job in the world.
You've got to respect the fact that it's like you've earned to get up there, you know, and you've got to also go take your shot at peeling the tatties, even if you're a big chief. You know, that's the idea.
You know, we're always pushing forward and looking at ways to be better. And bring more business through the door, always improve the food, always improve the service.
It's a company that's ever asked of your employees is like to find ways of making it better for the team and for the bosses. You know, that's the whole point.
100%.
There has to be people don't. There has to be somebody that's at the top, man. But I always say to folks, is like, you know, when you're working your way up to the top, you need to remember, because see, when you come back down, they're either going to give you a hand or they're going to be like, just get there, and you're just going to fall on your backside, man, on your face.
And that's why I think hierarchies are important, you know, because, you know, if everybody comes in and they do the job, things work regardless. It's when people start slacking and not doing the job, that's when you stand out like a sore thumb.
And you know they people, they're there, and So I've never asked this before, so it's quite good. What's Chef Dan's favourite food? What would be your favourite? What if somebody was to cook for you?
If someone was
what would be your favourite meal, and how would you like it prepared?
Wow, well, I'm a sucker for Italian foods. I love Italian food. I love making it, pizza, pasta. I love making it. A dish, I can't say I like a carbonara.
I like a wee carbonara. It's got to be cooked right, because the bun. Some folk make the pasta and it's too hard, man, and I'm out. I'm out after that.
When you're crunching your pasta. Italian food. You know, again, I like anything as long as it's done right and it tastes good, I'm not fussy.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm not a
if
fussy
you
eater.
saw what I ate at home, you'd be disgusted, mate. You know,
You've not seen what I ate, man.
pack of crisps and a
Hey,
chocolate biscuit.
Chris sandwich, man.
Yeah,
is,
yeah, yeah.
That's me, Chef James.
But yeah, no, and one question a lot of people ask me is, well, they ask my missus Kirsty especially, they're like, so what does he cook you at home? And I'm like,
Aye.
I don't cook at home a lot.
No,
I don't.
okay, it's like you work at home. I get it, man.
I mean, I do cook at home, but I don't cook a lot at home. You know, it's when I'm off, I don't want to be cooking. I want to be spending.
That'll
time
change
with my
though when the
family.
weeing gets a wee bit older
Yeah.
because you'll want to inspire and that. I've seen it with a few other.
Get them purees down there.
Yeah, man. You need to be starting to teach. But for me, it's venison medallions.
You like venison?
You've no idea what I eat. I've said to the guys, I've cooked in the house twice in the last 2 years because I don't cook.
Yeah. What's your favourite kind?
Venison medallion.
Yeah.
If I'm going to the Italian, venison medallions with they do like a carbonara sauce, but they also do this tomato. Look at me, I'm getting into it. The tomato on either side, and then they bring it with the two pastas.
Nice.
So two different sides, and it comes out. It's great, man.
Yeah.
It's affordable. That I'm plugging that other restaurant as well, man. And if I get a chance, I'm going to go back. I've not been back for 10 years.
Yeah, we've me and my missus, we have some friends up in Glasgow, so we quite like
Mate,
Glasgow.
Lala Terna, it's next to the Hotel Blue. At the train station, turn left, and it's down the stairs.
All right.
And it's the family, all the footballers go there, and
Right.
aye. Once they found out I was a mystery diner, they were like, "Oh, look after him," and I'm like, "I will let you."
Free pizza for him.
Yes, bring it extra. At that time, I was drinking. But so do we talk about? Because I see that building. I'll try and get off. I mean, the Collinwood's brilliant.
Yeah.
We'll try and get back on and jump off the train as such. And the outside of that building's cracking at Christmas time.
Yeah.
See when it's lit up.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to drive past, coming back, go to a meeting on a Thursday here, and it was all lit up. But the snow.
There's no buildings like that in the area.
Nah.
I've never seen anywhere.
Nah.
And I think that was part of the attraction to it. Is it looks really like rugged and rustic on the outside, and then you go in and it's still got all the old furniture, but it's all polished up, you know. And it's
if you're going,
it's
if you're
place.
a walker, you know, I've seen a lot of
Yeah.
walkers go past and get
Yeah,
a picture taken outside it.
Have you ever been in before?
We went in 2023. I think the team went in just before the summer ended in 2023.
Yeah.
That was the last time we went in. So I haven't been in since it's all been done up, man. I need to come.
Like I said to you, you know, you're more than welcome.
Aye, we'll need to come in.
Bring the team with you.
Aye, we'll need to bring them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aye, we'll do that. We'll get a wee date booked in. We'll get. Don't tell them, but we'll come. Well, obviously, I will have been. We'll try and come before this goes out. I think I've got 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And we'll do a wee
Cool, yeah.
a wee secret dine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And review. Aye,
Yeah.
it's exciting, man. I like meeting. Like I say, when I messaged you, they've been like, "What's this guy wanting?" But when you see the fact is, I see the passion that goes into the food. I've seen the hard work that goes into it, and then the presentation.
Yeah.
For me, as a, and you look at my workspace, I'm not the tidiest of guys, but I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like I took you in Ian's studio there, and I appreciate the tidiness, and I like the calmness that it gives me. It's the same with food.
Yeah.
Food well presented by a chef who knows his stuff is great.
Yeah.
Because other people feel that. It's not just about going, there's your dinner.
And as well, I think people can taste it as well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we get, you know, from whole fish to, you know, to lamb saddles to you know, like you name it. We try and butcher. I mean, everything's fresh. Nothing's bought in, you know, apart from like chicken nuggets for kids and, you know.
Yeah, Jan likes chicken nuggets.
You know, things that, you know, I always, you know, like we make our own stocks for the sauces. You know, we make a veal stock which takes 3 days to make, and that gets then split into different sauces, and you know, we make stocks from the fish heads and bones. That, you know, rather than
so I like hearing that. I like hearing that everything's used,
you know, rather than wasting things. And, you know, and it's even as little as like, you know, like it is a good example. So we have like next to zero food waste. So any bits of food that we waste. There's a guy who owns, I think he owns about 300 hounds nearby. So all our food waste goes into a bin, and he takes it away to process to dog food for his hounds. You know?
That's epic.
You know, so we sort of we try and keep wastage to an absolute minimum, which a lot of places do now because waste is money, isn't it?
People want to come and take away your oils and all your waste. But I like hearing that because it's about leaving your print in the world and try not to leave as much behind us when you go, man, as such, innit?
Yeah, 100%.
But I come from a family that used everything.
Yeah.
Like, you go in there, man, and that pot would be filled with whatever, rabbit,
Yeah.
whatever, just be getting eaten.
And you know, it's like, I only use local suppliers. You know, my fish comes from Hartlepool, but that's only because the fish supplies around here, they're a bit too expensive. You know, and
You've got a cost cut, man.
I go where the quality is
Rather
and
than
the price, rather than just the quality, because the price has to reflect, you know, on the end product. And you know, when I'm costing dishes for menus and things, you know, you work out your base price of a dish. You know, you work out a portion of beef's going to cost you £6 to put on a plate, plus your garnish, it's £8, and then you times it by 4, and that's your price.
Wow.
You know, and so you've got to be wary of that, and then you've got your labour that goes into it. You've got your cost, your electric, you know, your gas, and your time. You know, so it's quite it's a lot that goes into it. You've got to be you've got to be on the ball, 24/7 really. It's
like anybody who's listening that's there that's wanting, because we have a lot of chef followers. But for the guys who are just coming about, man, what would be the best experience? What would be the best advice? And again, it would just be a suggestion. Cause
my best advice is be a sponge. Go into a nice hotel. It doesn't even need to be a nice hotel. Go into a nice restaurant. Just be a sponge. Learn everything, and when you stop learning, move on.
Okay, that's
and
that.
Then, but it's what I did from when I was, you know, from when I was 17, 18. You know, I stayed in a place until I stopped learning, and then I put my notes in and said, "Chef, it's not you, it's me. I've stopped learning. I want to learn more." And he's like, "Shake hand." So, and then, but every time I used to change a job, I used to move up. I used to go from like a one rosette place, maybe go to another one rosette place, or one rosette restaurant to a one rosette hotel, and then I go to a two rosette restaurant, and then a two rosette hotel, and then a three rosette, and then you just keep building yourself up and build yourself up, and before you know it, you've sharpened your tools, and you know you can go and work anywhere.
Brilliant.
So it's you've got to have a passion for it though. If you don't have a passion for it,
don't just go into it just for the money, innit? It's got to be passion.
Because it's like, I say to all my guys, you know, if you don't love what you do, and it's the same with what you do. If you don't love what you do, it can be the hardest job in the world. You know, if you love it, it's the best job in the world.
Because you're excited with going in like even the small. That's never a truer statement, by the way, guys. Like, I'm buzzing coming in here. I picked Jan up and I drove in the day, and I'm like, this is it. We're coming up there, and then like I get excited by meeting people who are creatives who maybe don't class themselves as a creative, but I sure do, man, because it's important. If I'm true to what I am, I get like everything you're saying. I'm nodding my head because it's like it's true,
it's
man.
relatable, isn't it?
It is relatable. It's like everything that we do should be relatable content, so that you could flip it onto whatever you're doing. Like, I get processes with painting. Never to think too far into the future. You know, deal with what's there. Let's just get it there first.
And as long as you're giving your best, you can
every
day. You know, it'll work out for you. And
I think people just put too much pressure on themselves.
100%. And there's a lot of, but people have a lot of pressure from the outside world. You know, people might not have a good home life. They might not have a lot of money. They might not have, you know, this, that, and the other. But that's life, isn't it? As long as you're doing a job that you love, then it'll work out in the end.
Always say to people that will always happen. Happens to me, it'll happen to you. It's like people, places, and economic insecurity. Yeah. But see if you break the mold with that just a wee bit, and that's what Dan's saying is like, you know, you break the mold with that just a wee bit, a tiny second or a minute after. Do it then, and it's like there's that 20-minute rule in it. If you do something for 20 minutes each day for a year, you become good at it.
Yeah, and you know, I should have said this previously, but my one regret in life was, you know, when I went to work abroad in France and Switzerland, I did that when I was 21. My only regret was that I didn't do it sooner. That is my only regret, because
procrastination
it opens your mind.
It does.
And the reason I never did it was because I was scared to.
Fear.
I shit myself.
Fear.
I shit myself.
We always talk about the fear on this show.
Yeah, but you know, and I got pushed by my friend who was working out there in Maribel, Dane. He was always egging me. I was like, come out. You don't know what you're missing. Like, it's not for me. And then I was like, you know what? Let's go work in France. And then I was like, mind was blown.
The world's bigger than what you think.
The end goal for me was with the seasonal work, because I wanted to work on yachts.
Oh, nice.
That was the plan, but my partner got seasick, so
Aye.
you know. So again, that's where my life just took a different path, you know. And then,
But I'm glad you made that hand gesture there, because I always say that. It's like I was gifted by an highly intelligent man on this planet. There's always two paths, and even the wrong one will always bring you back round to the right one eventually.
all roads lead to
Aye.
Rome.
Oh, aye, that's it, man.
All roads lead to Rome.
I just think that the more creatives we talk to, the more commonality we have. You know, yes, the world can be harsh. Yes, the world can be horrible, but you got to find your own wee piece that's worth your own worth. Like you've said, I think that's what I'm going to name it when I put the wee tab out. Know your worth, man. Yeah. That's a powerful statement. And aye, we can sometimes get forgotten about, but we need to ask ourselves this as well.
Yeah.
What are we doing to change it?
Yeah.
It's like the world's changing, man.
I think for a lot of people, you know, you just have to have a bit of self-confidence, because you know, a lot of people get, you know, hospitality is renowned for it as well. You know, people put you down constantly. I'm sure it's the same in a lot of other industries.
100%.
But when you're working up your hierarchy, people will put you down, or keep trying to put you down, because you're coming for their job.
Yeah.
You know? So you just stay consistent, stick at it, and again, you sharpen your tools to a point where you're in that position, and you know.
But I'm glad you said fear, man, because fear is part of the process.
Yeah.
Fear is part of what's the word? Fear is part of the bigger scale of what it is you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
It needs to be part of the I don't like saying the end goal, but the middle part of the goal. You need to, like, I have fear. Like
you've got to face your fears.
Like, I don't know Dan. I just reached out because I seen a highly skilled person through his work, and then all of a sudden I've got fear. I'm like, oh, what if he doesn't want to come? What if this and that? It's like, what if it's too much pressure? That's none of my business.
I mean, the fear I was feeling sat in the car outside.
You know? See, it's like, but if we don't embrace that, and if guys don't come on a couch and go, hey, man, there's fear. I fear every day, but I work with it.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're just two blokes having a chat
exactly.
on the couch, aren't we?
Part of the process. That was it. It's part of the process.
Part of the process.
But again, man, if like I say, if we don't come on here and sit here on the couch and talk about it, then how are you guys going to know?
Exactly.
I'm a massive advocate about getting people out behind the couches, because yes, you mentioned the lockdown. Lockdown came and it happened. But it happened, guys, man. It's like, come on, man. The world needs to move. I'm fortunate because I found myself in lockdown.
And there's a good chance it'll happen again, you know, or something similar.
Something will happen, but it's your own wee journey, man. I said this the other day to somebody, and I'll use the ship analogy. You are the captain of your own ship, right? So you will undoubtedly let people on that ship, but they might be the right people, and they're certainly going to be the wrong people, but they will, at least at some point, cause mutiny. But remember this, you're the captain of the ship, man. Do what you need to do, man, in order to take control of that ship back. And that's what I've done, and it sounds like that's what you've done.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what it's all about, man. That's what we love doing. And it's been interesting. I keep looking at my phone, man. I could go on all day. I like it when you meet somebody in the middle.
Yeah.
I think with creatives, everybody's all like, oh, and you did that. I don't care. I did that, and you did that. I like meeting people in the middle and going, hey, let's see what we can do together.
And again, this goes back. You know, you were telling me you've been through addiction and things. I've been through addiction myself as well.
Right.
Drink, drugs, you name it. And I think people go through that because it's a place to turn to when there's nowhere else no one else. But then if you come through the end of that, and again, hospitality is renowned for drink and drugs, and you know, because of the long hours you work, you know, people need a release. People release through drink, through drugs, through whatever. But I think if you can come through that, then you do become a better person. You know, like you know yourself, you've been through it.
Yeah,
I've been through it myself.
And cheers for your honesty. It's like life's a journey.
I probably speak for millions of people out there, and especially a lot of chefs, a lot of hospitality workers. You know, because it's a hard industry to work in. It's unsociable hours, but again, it comes back to have passion for what you do. Passion,
no privilege, passion.
Yeah,
because you need to earn it. It's 100%. Like if I walked in on my first day and somebody says, because everybody always hears me moaning we don't get any funding.
Yeah,
but for what we've done, like over the Berwick side of it. But had I gotten that, I don't know, man. You know, that privilege word is something that I don't like.
No.
Because the passion is that I've worked I have stuff I've not finished, but I'm also working towards that. I'm working through the fear, and all these things add up, man, and it's part of the journey.
Of course.
People are too busy trying to use other people's parts of their journey, and I was told other people's business is none of your business. So shut up, man, and get on with it.
And,
Do you know it's true?
A lot of people try and skip the important steps. You know, people try and jump to success when you've got to work your way through it.
Of course you do, man.
You've got to learn the trade. You've got to learn
100%.
You know, it's like, again, I'll use art as an example. You know, you can't become a good artist just by saying you're a good artist.
No.
You know, the proof's in the pudding.
It is, and it's the sales as well.
It's the same with cooking. You know, the proof's in the pudding.
Literally,
Quite
like
literally,
that pun.
yeah.
Hey, that maybe we use that for the. But honestly, man, thank you very much for your time. I know we're only just getting started. We will take you up on that. We will come to Collinwood and within the next 3 weeks. It's been interesting because chefing is one of the hardest jobs. I know people that have left because it's too much for them and they don't mind admitting it.
Extremely high pressure environment.
Yeah. But when you worked it and you get the rewards, before we go, tell the guy, because there's a few like 20 odd year olds watching us. What's the rosettes? What gets you the rosettes?
So rosettes. So basically, you pay to go in the AA guide. Then the AA will come and inspect you. They'll inspect your hotel, your amenities, your facilities, and your restaurant. And your rosette it's basically a tiered reward system. So one rosette is the lowest. Again, it's a great thing. Not many places have one rosette, and that is basically solid, good cooking, seasonal produce. Again, there's a lot of mystery in how they work it out. But again, the higher up you go, you get your 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't even know if you get 5 rosettes now, probably. But basically, it's an award for good food and service. And the higher up you go, the more impressive it is. You get like I said, we have 2 rosettes now, so that's down to really good quality food, refined food, seasonal produce, local produce, and good service. Like again, the higher up you go, it's the AA guide, and I don't know if you've heard of the Michelin guide.
Yeah.
So the Michelin guide's the same. You pay to go in the Michelin guide. I think you pay to go in the Michelin guide, and then they'll come and inspect you
randomly,
and they'll award you. Yeah, but it's random. You don't know when they come in. So that's where consistency comes in.
And it's it's for the team as well, not just the food in it. So that's a nice thing to hear. It's nice, man. Like, I'm not a big fan of awards. I just thought I'm one of these people who I like a back seat. I mean, people think I'm the front seat. I like to sit in the back.
Yeah, and it's surreal for me because I've worked in some really good places with good accolades, and years ago I'd have never thought I've been head chef of two rosette places before, but I've never stuck around long enough to be re-inspected. And then, but to take the Collinwood from the one rosette, we were actually on the brink of losing the one rosette when I was there. Wow. To take it from nearly losing the one rosette to then getting 2 rosettes within 2 years.
Well done, man.
It's pretty good. And like I say, I'm a driven person. Like when I'm in the kitchen, I've got my apron on, my chef jacket. I'm like, it's all about the food.
You've got to be though. That's it. That's your job. And if you do it well, then that's the reward, man. Is the rosettes and stuff.
And it's the hardest part for me is making sure the guys and girls that I work with are on the same page. Because if you're singing from the same page, then
100%.
100%.
And back to awards, like I want awards only for the team. Like I'm happy for the team to get the awards, and I like it, but it comes to like people, and you know what I'm saying. Yeah. It comes to like, why do they deserve it and that? But hey, if the food's that good and you deserve it and you've worked for it, that's why they deserve it.
Recognition, isn't it?
Exactly, that's the word I was trying to think, man.
It's good for businesses as well. It is great.
And the area. Let's not forget. The fact is, we've just rounded off. There's not that many places that you can go around the area to actually get.
You know what was funny when I first came up here? It felt like I travelled back in time because I grew up in the Lakes.
I get that.
And, it's coming back up here. I expected to see horse and carts.
Especially in Kelso.
Well, I mean, even Berwick High Street. Berwick High Street reminds me of Kendal High Street 15 years ago.
Oh, I've been to Kendal.
It's just a bit I mean, it's great now. There's a lot of nice little restaurants and bars and things, but it's just high streets are dying all over the place.
They're dying everywhere, man, and we're not helping each other. It's literally everybody's just
buying online.
Aye, that's
Which
it.
is-
We don't want to mention the company that, but it's and I do the same, man. If I need it,
Well, yeah.
like yourself, we try and source locally, but as an artist, you can't really, and we don't have time to go.
Of course.
But I get it. So I'm going to start. I'm introducing something new with you, right? So I have a book here, and it is called "Nobody Really Has Their Shit Together: The Doodles That Make You Feel Kind of Better." So you're going to open up whatever page
Okay.
you want, and then read us out that one wee bit. It's not a long thing.
Right. Let's see.
What does it say?
So, being a dick today doesn't mean you have to be a dick tomorrow.
Hey! Also says fuck that shit in the other page. You know, it's simple things like that. Yes,
Yeah,
it's swearing, but you know, nobody really does have their shit together.
No.
It's just one of the things, man. You got to just get on with it. Before we go, what's on your nails?
So my partner Kirsty is a nail tech.
That's right.
So she's I'm her. I think I'm her only male client. So she complains my nails are dirty all the time from work, and I'm not a biter. I'm not a cutter. So,
Me neither, I'm
so I
not a
get her
biter.
to book me in, and she goes a bit too far sometimes.
Aye.
So yeah, there we go.
Bro,
Shout out to Kirsty.
where's Kirsty now? Where's she working
Kirsty's
for?
so she works from home.
Ah, she works for home.
Yeah.
Where can we find Kirsty?
On Instagram, nails by Kirsty.
Nails by
Kirsty
Kirsty.
G.
Kirsty G.
Or nails by Kirsty.
Cool. But also, if you're going to find Dan, it's Chef Jonesy. That's ChefJonsey on Instagram. You'll be able to find them there. And you'll obviously find them in Collinwood Arms. So get yourselves along and try the food. And if you manage to get there before we do, send me a message. I like that. Let's get a pre message. But
Yeah.
thanks very much for
You're
your time,
welcome,
man.
mate.
Honestly,
Thank you for having me on.
it's nice having you on the show. And like I said to you before we started, you know, Imagination Station Network is so much more than just a podcast. So
It's a movement.
aye, it's like my
Yeah,
my mate says you're like the punks, man. You're just no stopping. I said, "Hey, one day." But honestly, it's inspirational to find as many people, and there is a lot of inspiration in this area.
Yeah.
And you've just rhymed it off for us, man. So, listen, guys, if you haven't heard your creative journey yet, that's going to get you out from behind the couch, stay with us. We have another. I shouldn't say 100 odd, because we're not going to get through that this year. But we have a lot more coming, and everybody's different, and everybody's got their own creative journey. So, aye, stay tuned and keep listening. We are 99.9% sure that you'll find it. Either that or you'll hear your fear, and then you just need to power through it. But if you want to support us, you can go over to jagar82.com. You'll find everything there that we do and all the other artists. So, from me, have a great day. But remember, I'm always signing off with this, and yourself as well, Dan. You know, be kind to yourself and take yourself. Just have a wee 5 minutes to yourself, man. Put your hand on your heart and you feel it beating. That's you, man. You're alive. Give yourself a wee bit of a break today, man, when you hear this, and just take a wee bit of time for yourself. So, thank you very much, guys.
Know your worth.
That's it, man. Know your worth.